light and day is more than you'll say, 'cause all my feelings are more than I can let by or not. It's more than you've got. Just follow the day. Follow the day and reach for the sun. Follow the day and reach for the sun. See me fly into the red. One more, you're dead. Just follow the seasons and find the time. Reach for the bright side.
Hi, Warren John Schwanke here with MPW Cable Public Access Channel 9. I'm with Mel Steckel here at the 12th Annual Melon Tri. How are you today?
We're doing pretty good. We're running on full tilt around here.
Full tilt, and I can hear all the clamoring in the background. They got the cowbells going in the biking event here at the Melon Tri. Real briefly, for some of our viewers that may not be familiar, we're here at the Muscatine Community Y, and can you give us a little bit of insight on what is the Melon Tri?
Well, the Melon Tri is an indoor triathlon. There are 3 legs to the event. Can be done by an individual or a team of 2 or 3. They swim a half mile, bike 7 miles on the Schwinn Airdyne, and run 2.5 miles on our indoor track.
Thus, that's a bit of the tri. Tri is in 3.
Yep. We have various age and gender divisions, as well as team categories that people participate in.
So somebody doesn't necessarily have to come and be a super athlete at all 3 of these events. They can do that, but also if maybe you have a good swimmer, a good bicycler, and somebody that's a good runner, you can partner up as friends or a family and do it together.
Yeah, absolutely. We have different categories, and some are very competitive. Some just want to prove that they can do it and just do it for the fun of it.
If, for instance, next year someone would want to participate, can you give us an idea of how young can you be to start entering this event, and exactly how do you get a team put together?
Well, it's really geared as an adult event, but we do have some kids as young as 10 who are super swimmers that put together a team, or family members that have put together a team with younger family members. So it's really geared for adults, but we do have some super kids participating in this event.
Wow. Hey, let's rewind the clock 12 years. This is the 12th annual. Tell us a little bit about how this event even got started.
Several years ago, the Melon Y did a similar event, not exactly like this, but very similar. They were interested in giving it up because the people didn't have the time and energy to devote to it.
And there does take a lot of time and energy, I can tell you. I've been
Takes
here
some time.
for the last 3 years helping out, and there's a lot of manpower here, and we can get into that
Takes lots of
shortly.
volunteers. But they were giving it up and thought that maybe it ought to have a home and kind of put out the word. And Kathy Huff and Peggy Culpepper, who were then YM employees, took a look at it and decided they wanted to bring it to Muscatine. So we've kind of taken it over and turned it into our event and done it for 12 years now.
What are some of the things that have changed over the last 12 years? I would have to say, obviously, the size and magnitude of the event.
Yes, numbers. We started with much fewer heats, and we've continually added more heats and been falling on a waiting list for the last several years. Even though we've added an additional heat, we're kind of maxed out. We have a heat that goes off every half hour between 1 o'clock and 5:30.
And that's a really nice problem to have, I would suspect, to have a waiting list versus constantly trying to drum up the interest to have a full event, and that's been going on for the last several years for you folks.
Yes, it has. Somebody called this morning to see if somebody dropped out, if they could possibly get in. So,
well, let's drop some names. Some of the people that now I know that we don't have time to go through the entire list, but I know there's some real key players, some employees here, some volunteers that have really put in a lot of time to make this event as wonderful it is, and as people will see through the show, they're going to find out like this is a pretty big deal in Muscatine.
It's a lot of fun for us as well. It takes a lot of energy, as you mentioned, but Debbie Hahn, exercise area manager here at Y, is on the committee. Karen T is on the committee. The volunteer people, Del Wagner is the race director for the day. We have lots of people that help him in that department in the pool, getting things started. John Sales is in charge of the track. I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody now that we've done this.
But it's because she's so busy that she's
Yeah.
overwhelmed. So.
Greg Harper is in charge of the bikes, the biking, and has people that are working with him. So the key and the really the heartbeat, I guess, of the Melon Tri committee is Kathy Huff, who is our volunteer chairman and keeps us all on the right track and moving forward.
I saw she has her husband Jay. He's constantly out here helping out as well. So
absolutely,
So she's
recruits him to come and volunteer.
Yep. All right. Well, if you want supper tonight, you probably better help out. So
I think
he's
supper's
probably.
here. I think supper's here.
Oh,
tonight.
okay, great. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add that I haven't asked you about that you just think people should know about the Melon Tri?
This is a benefit for our community partners campaign. So all the proceeds, our sponsors, we have many sponsors who help to fund the event. And the entry fees, any proceeds go to our Community Partners Campaign, which provides scholarship memberships for families here in Muscatine at the Muscatine Community Y.
That's really good stuff. So we're glad that you guys are doing this, and keep up the good work because it is fantastic. And even if you're not an athlete and don't want that can participate, we do also have areas where people can come out and kind of watch. There's not a lot of room, but if you want to get a little taster for what it's like, you're going to get a little bit of here in the show. But next year, if you'd like to come out and just check it out, they're more than welcome, I would guess.
Spectators, cheerleaders, always welcome.
Yes, and bring plenty of cowbells because we don't have enough of those, right, Mel?
You bet.
Thanks.
Or
All right.
earplugs.
Thank you very much, Mel Steckel.
Can hold on.
Hi, Warren John Schwanke here with Debbie Hahn from the Community Y. How you?
Good, thanks.
How
John.
you doing?
I'm good. Glad to have you again here this year.
Thank you. Busy
Welcome.
day out here. Just the chaos of everything, and somehow it seems organized chaos. And I know that you're very involved in the volunteerism in here because it does take a lot of people besides the athletes to make sure that this all goes smoothly. So tell us a little bit about the volunteers here today.
You know, they are really, truly the unsung heroes of our organization in a whole, but especially for this event. We have over 105 volunteers in order to get this whole thing off the ground, to about 140 some athletes. So it's a pretty close one-on-one ratio, and we couldn't do it without them. We have a core committee group that we started meeting in August to plan this event. It's an annual event, so we pretty much know what we need to do, but there's still a lot of decisions and
that
things
starts
to be made
when?
in August.
In August, that early.
Yes.
That's a long ways in advance.
So we meet quite early and plan this and choose a date. And we always have to find out when the Super Bowl is, so we don't plan it on the same date as the Super Bowl. And then all the volunteers that we have timers. They're very important. They need to be with the athlete or the team all the way through, from the start of the gun, in the pool, through the bike, and through the run, and write down their transition times, the time they start swimming and finish swimming, and start biking and finish biking, and start running and finish running, so the athlete will know his transition time, also his each little segment time. So it's very important. It's very, very important. We've got a lot of very competitive athletes, and they want to know that exact time.
Yeah, those would be the people that you may see in the background with the orange vests.
Yes, and with a walk, with their stopwatch around their necks, and they go with the team or with the athlete start to finish. So those people are very important. We also have here at the scorers table, we have volunteers here that are helping with all the scoring. When the timer when the athlete finishes the heat, the timer brings that timing sheet to them, and they are able to double check it and then post it on the wall so that all the athletes then, spectators can come and see what everyone's time is and who's in the lead and how everyone's doing. We also have people in the bike area that help set up with the water. We've got the water hottie, we've got the water guy, and the water person there to help, supply the water, make sure the cups are filled with the straws and ready for the timer so they can serve water to the biker, because they don't want to stop biking with their arms, and so they've got a straw in the cup so they can just drink from there. Also, Greg Harper and his crew couldn't do it without him, wiping down the bikes and preparing the bikes and fixing any bikes that might go down on us. So they're very important there.
That is important, because most of the events, the pool, not any technical equipment, the run, no technical equipment other than the human body. But when you get into that, and like you said, a lot of these people, they take this very competitively.
Yes, they do.
Some
It's
do
for
it for the fun,
but, yeah.
but some of them really, they want to at least have a fair playing ground. And then the way they set the bikes up, and as well as they're taken care of, and I think it's just an honor to have somebody with the biking background of Greg Harper, a professional bicyclist, to be here to make sure that this part of the event is done as professionally as possible.
He is part of our core committee, and again, we couldn't do it without him. And their facility, their business also loans us a lot of bikes to use today, because we only have 5 here in the Y facility, so all the rest come from his shop. Also, I don't want to forget Mr. John Sales. He is the monitor of the track area and has done it for years, and there again, we couldn't do it without him. He encourages the athletes and tells them what lane that they need to run in and what lane they need to pass in, and monitors the bike, or the clock that's going on there too. So he has been a part of our committee for a long time.
And then we have somebody in the pool area that runs that whole show. Rumor has he has a throne in there, but I didn't actually see his throne, but he's kind of the king of the pool. Can you tell us about?
Yes, he is. Mr. Del Wagner. He is our race director.
Yeah.
And if you've seen a lot of these shows, you'll see him at a lot of the outdoor races. He goes to them all and is a great race director. And he's done it for years also, part of our core committee. And again, we couldn't do it without him. And so he gets the races started. He talks to all the athletes and all of the timers and tells them for sure what everyone's duties are, so that the athlete doesn't need to worry that the timer isn't sure about what they're supposed to do. So that's very important to make sure that the athlete doesn't have to worry about that, doesn't have any concerns. In addition, we've got a lot of lifeguards in the pool. We've got lap counters, and that's the wettest job of the whole volunteerism for the triathlon. They sit at the end of the pool, and they put the numbers down in the pool, and when the people do flip turns, they get drenched. But it's a little bit warmer in that area, so they kind of like getting a little bit wet each time, but we couldn't do it without them. That's just great. I also need to mention Kathy Huff. She is our champion. She is the Muscatine's community volunteer person, and she has been part of this committee since the onset, and she does so much work in lining up volunteers and getting them assigned to heats, and Kathy is just the brains behind the whole shebang.
Yes, she does a great job. She's been with you for a long time too, so you have a lot of mainstays, and that's great. There's one set of volunteers that I'm tremendously fond of, and this is kind of...
I wonder where, John, I wonder where.
This is after everything is said and done, and you've gone out and done your events, is our other set of volunteers, and I've become very fond of these ladies and some gentlemen.
The kitchen crew, I think, is where John is going with this.
Yeah.
These athletes are really, they are pouring it all out on the track, on the bike, and in the pool. And so after the event, they get to come in here and have a meal. And we've got Subway sandwiches. We have pierogies full of carbohydrates to replenish their system, and fruit, and of course cookies and bars. And so they are welcome to help themselves to that. Also, our volunteers are able, with their volunteer wristband, come in and have a meal too. We appreciate them so much, and we couldn't do it without them, that we're happy to feed them a meal. So the kitchen crew, our hats go off to them, and yes, we all very much appreciate all the work that they do here too.
That's good stuff, yeah. And speaking of the Super Bowl, I see a super big bowl of chips, so I'm going to ask you to close out the segment.
Okay.
And
thank you so much. Yes, thank you. From the Triathlon, the Muscatine Community Y. Thank you.
we're back here at the bicycling arena, I like to call it, with Greg Harper.
This is the gym with the Airdyne, you silly.
It's the arena.
The arena.
You gotta
the
go.
biking arena.
It's
Ooh.
all about this drama. People want drama on TV, Greg.
It's drama.
You know that.
It's drama.
You know about drama. Look at the clothes you wear every day. Every day he wears this stuff. So I know that you got to get back to work here real quickly. So we just want to talk about, the equipment. This is one of the events, and you've been acknowledged as a volunteer and somebody that's been with the event forever. But tell us a little bit about what makes this portion of the event different.
It's hard. It's on an Airdyne exerciser, which people know how to swim, people can run, but they don't train on an Airdyne exerciser too much. And
Although they
it's hard.
should.
They could. They should. They can stop down to Harper Cycle and Fitness and
Yeah.
purchase one of these, because we are going to have an after Melon Tri sale, $100 off on them. So come on down.
Oh, great.
They'll be cleaned, refurbished. They won't be sweated on.
Ah, I
we're
hear
going
it.
to clean that off. But no, the Airdyne's a tough part of the indoor triathlon, because the swimmers can do it. A fast swimmer can do it in 10 to 13, 14 minutes. And I don't know how fast the run is, but this is about 20 minutes plus of pain, of fun, of smiling, of exertion. 7 miles on Airdyne.
And we saw in some of the video, now you don't just set the bikes here and they just sit there all day and then they run in and jump on them. Tell us a little bit about what you personally do to make sure that everybody gets a good, fair run on these bicycles.
Well, what I do to try to make this as fair as possible is 8 of the first 9 Airdynes are brand new ones from Harper Cycle Fitness. So I ordered them in, put them together, and I bring them out here just for the triathlon. So everybody gets on here and says, wow, these are smooth, because the ones they've been riding at the gym have been old and beat up and just aren't as smooth as new ones. So to make it as fair for everybody, at least the first 8 and at least the 9th one is been refurbished, so it's as smooth as possible, so everybody's on the same level.
Now I also noticed you're like putting the seat down, wiping them down, doing some stuff with the little brain head on the top there. Can you tell us what you're doing there?
Right. What I'm doing there is, when they come off the pool and come into the gym, they go to the first available bike. And what I've done is, in the registration area, the competitors can check the seat height. So when they come into the gym here, the seat's all the way down, and the computer's been zeroed back to 0 mileage.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. I zero out the computer to 0 miles, drop the seat down, so everybody that comes into the gym has to raise their own seat to their
Right,
recommended
you might
height.
run in and you're 5 and I might be 7 because I'm a little taller, so that they know in ahead that before they get here, they know I got to slide this up, put it in number 6, and I'm ready to go.
Right. And then just look at that computer, and when it says 7 miles, you know you're done, and you go out that door over there into the...
Good system, makes it fair. Why don't you give the other people accolades? Everybody talks about what a great guy Harper is, but I know that you work with a lot of other people that make this all happen, and it starts in August. Why don't you give them a pat on the back?
Well, yeah, there's Kathy Huff, there's Del Wagner, Debbie Hahn, Karen T,
Yes.
and
Mel Steckel.
Mel Steckel. Yeah, that's
you
like...
may or may not miss somebody, but this isn't just like, hey, that comes up in a week, let's get the stuff together. I mean, it takes a lot of planning, and I think that everybody appreciates all the hard work that you and the other volunteers put in.
We put on a lot of work, and then a week after the event today, we're going to have a follow-up meeting to recap and read some of the replies, comments from comment cards everybody hopefully fills out. And we listen to that and try to go and make little adjustments to make this a very smooth, successful event that it is. So it's a lot of work, but we make it fun, and we want the competitors to come back and have fun and enjoy this. This is a fun event, and come back.
I tried to fight that cough off so bad, I just couldn't do it. I got to train. I was training, I'd be doing better at that.
I got you on one of these Airdynes here, Schwank, and
Yeah.
get you out there
All
pedaling,
right.
get you all healthy, get you as fit as me,
So, well, anyway, I think that the athletes, as we've talked to them, they really appreciate it because it does make this event very fun and very fair for them. And we want to thank you for being part of it year after year, and we hope that we get an opportunity to interview you from year to year as we go into the future.
Well, thank you very much,
Very good.
Warren.
Greg Harper, get back to work.
Oh,
Get them bikes ready. Go, 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 go. Hey, welcome back. I'm with Del Wagner here at the Melon Tri, and crazy day. We're kind of winding down towards the end here, and tell us about what Del does for the event. I know you've been with it for a long time.
I have. I've been here for the 12 years that it takes place.
You don't look old enough to be here.
I understand that, but I am. My responsibility is to make sure that every heat starts on time, to make sure that the volunteers and the participants know exactly what they're going to do, what to expect going from one event to the other, swim, bike, run, to be careful for spectators, those types of things. So if they have any questions, we can make sure that they're safe and the participants and spectators are safe too.
I've noticed in the swim area, which is the first event, and then we go to the bikes, then to the run, you actually have a staging area there where you kind of, it's like a mini classroom where you kind of tell them, you know, what is expected of them from the start to the finish and how to transition.
That's right. Every heat has an orientation so that they can understand what's to be expected when they're out there. And from there, they have a safe event, make sure that there are no mishaps or anything like that. But we make sure that the athletes have a good time. This is not for blood, this is for fun, and we try and make sure that they know that when they're doing it.
We get some camera shots of some of the athletes that it's hard to remember that they're just having fun. They just try so hard. I think everybody as a whole is here to have fun, but I know that they have personal challenges that they try to meet. And you know, a lot of these athletes take this very seriously.
Well, we try and tell them
in a fun way.
We try and tell them that this medal that they're going for costs $2.85. We're not giving any prize money, but it still is hard. We have a lot of people who really want to compete, who want to do well, and we try and provide that venue for them. And when you come right down to it, we have people ranging in age from 10 years old to senior citizens 70 plus who are out here. So we need to guarantee that they have as much fun as they possibly can.
Yes, and when you're having an event that's supposed to be for fun, which this is, you know, it also opens the door that you can have some very talented high-level athletes, but also some, I would call intermediate athletes.
True, and local athletes. There are people here who have never done a triathlon, have never swum that far, but gosh, since it's so close, it's well worth the chance to try it and see what it's like.
Now, also, we've talked with some of the other interviews about the fact that you don't necessarily have to do this, the entire 3 events yourself. You can do it as a team, and I think that throws another element into it as a group of friends, a family. It gives you some opportunities to do some fun things with that.
That's true. We have businesses, we have co-ed teams, again, we have high school teams. We provide, even if you can't swim, you still can participate. If you can find other team members, then this is the place for you on Sunday.
Good stuff. And we want to thank you for being a part of this for 12 years, because it's really become known throughout the entire Midwest. And as it's been told to me, that you better get on the waiting list pretty quick if you want to be involved, because we've even expanded to a couple more heats, I believe, and we're still full every year.
We're still full every year. We had a waiting list, but we got as many in as we possibly could. I'm going to have to run.
You have to run.
I got to go.
He's got to run. He's got to get another.
I got to go.
He's got to get him set up. Thanks a lot.
All right, talk to you later.
See you, Dale. Chad Bishop just completing his multi-phase of the Melon Tri. How you doing?
I am completely wiped out. Do not try this at home. Only at the Y. It's a lot easier. I don't know if you've got footage of it, but on the swim, about 4 laps in, I was set to win this thing. And it was all downhill from that in the pool. But as soon as I got out of the pool, I kicked some tail on the bike.
So once again, you started strong, but you finished weak.
I started strong, finished weak, then started strong and finished weak. I kind of did a cycle thing. That was my strategy. But I'm glad it's over, and it was a great training all year.
Good experience.
Yeah.
And we've seen you out running a lot. We see you here at the Y a lot. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It gives people motivation to maybe try to get in better shape.
Yep. But yeah, exactly right. I wouldn't have came out as much as I would have this winter if I didn't have this to prepare for. So
That's great. That's
motivated
good.
me entirely. To learn
You
how to
met your
swim.
goals for the most part, you think, and
Didn't drown. That was it.
that was all you wanted. Didn't drown and didn't
I
have a heart
started
attack,
swimming
so.
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So next year, watch me.
I saw you had some fans out here, some family.
Yep.
And
It always helps to have something to keep your mind off the pain.
you bet, and you could hear them yelling for you and stuff, and that's always fun too to know somebody's there rooting you on.
Yep, exactly. So it's a family thing.
Get you through that last lap or so.
Yep, and I'd like to thank MPW Cable for coming out. They're a good bunch of guys on Channel 9 and all the guys at MCC Video. Heard they're a top-notch team.
Cool. Chad Bishop, thanks a lot. Go get something to drink, relax. You're going to be all right.